Hi everyone, coming to you with today's daily devotional from Hosea chapter 6. Come, let us return to the Lord, for it is He who is torn, and He will heal us. He is struck down, and He will bind us up. After 2 days He will revive us. On the third day He will raise us up, that we may live before Him. Let us press on to know the Lord. His appearing is as sure as the dawn. He will come to us like the showers, like the spring rains that water the earth. What shall I do with you, O Ephraim? What shall I do with you, O Judah? Your love is like a morning cloud, like the dew that goes away early. Therefore I have hewn them by the prophets, I have killed them by the words of my mouth, and my judgment goes forth as the light. For I desire steadfast love, and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God, rather than burnt offerings. So the reason we're looking at this passage today, because this is another passage that I think was very influential to Jesus. He quotes that last verse a couple of times in his ministry about God wanting steadfast love or mercy and not sacrifice, right? Which seems odd because so much of the biblical story is all about how God seems to want sacrifice. But Jesus, who knows the prophets and knows the mind of God better than anyone else, tells us that that's not what God is about. Instead, God is about mercy. Right? It's what we saw with him cleansing the temple, that Jesus knows God's biggest thing is not that we go through certain religious habits and practices, but that we find ways to show love to God and love to others. And so sacrifice can be meaningful when it's a way to show mercy. You know, it reminds me of a story of George when he was younger, when he lost one of his first teeth. He gets a couple quarters from the tooth fairy every time that happens. And one time when he got his 2 quarters, he wanted to go to the store so that he could get a gumball. And so he used 1 quarter to get one for him. And then he sacrificed his other quarter to get me a gumball. And obviously I don't really have much need for one of those little gumballs that lasts for 10 seconds. But I treasured that because that was a way that George showed me love. And that's how it is with God. God doesn't need us to sacrifice meaningless things. God wants us to show mercy. But the truth is, showing mercy, showing love to others often is going to be a sacrifice, especially in these times. We have to think about what kind of sacrifice God does want us to make and what kind of sacrifice God doesn't need. But there are people that we know that need to see God's mercy and God's love. And so our call is to show that however we can. Blessings on your day.